The Queen was joined by members of the royal family on the Buckingham Palace balcony today in front of tens of thousands of cheering Britons amid joyous scenes as her historic Platinum Jubilee celebrations got underway. The 96-year-old monarch, who wore her guard's brooch and the blue Angela Kelly outfit used in her official Platinum Jubilee portrait, exclaimed "Incredible" when she took the salute after arriving from Windsor Castle. The Queen then returned to the balcony around half an hour later to watch the RAF fly past featuring the Red Arrows along with senior royals including Prince Charles, Camilla, Prince William and Kate and their children. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle did not make an appearance on the balcony but were reunited with their relatives as they kept a low profile on a balcony on Horse Guards Parade, where they watched Charles inspect guardsmen and officers and take their salute. Wearing sunglasses, the Queen looked joyful as she surveyed the patriotic scenes, giving broad smiles while enjoying the 6-minute flypast which involved 70 aircraft, including Apache helicopters, Typhoons and the Red Arrows. 15 RAF Typhoons paid a special tribute to the Queen's reign, flying in the formation of the number 70. While Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis all appeared, there was no place on the palace balcony today for Prince Harry, Meghan Markle or Prince Andrew given that none of them are no longer working royals. From their Horse Guards Parade balcony, Meghan and Harry were seen putting their finger to their lips next to Savannah Phillips, Mia and Lena Tyndall in an apparent attempt to quieten the children. The Sussexes also spoke with the Duke of Kent, who joined his cousin the Queen on the Buckingham Palace balcony. On the second trip, Charles stood on the Queen's right-hand side and the pair could be seen chatting and smiling. Huge cheers of hooray erupted outside and as the aircraft approached, the Queen could be seen looking ahead and smiling. Meanwhile, Louis waved towards the sky and rested his chin in his hands. The Queen could also be seen interacting with Louis, who was standing next to her on the balcony. And the young prince was photographed holding his hands over his ears as the aircraft soared overhead. The monarch smiled throughout the flypast and waved at the crowds before going back into the palace. When the Queen made her appearance on the balcony, there was a delayed reaction from the crowds in the mall and spectators sat in the stands built for tomorrow's party at the palace. A cheer went up when they spotted her on screens and she smiled as the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment passed the gates of Buckingham Palace. The troopers took around 5 minutes to ride past as the Queen chatted to the Duke of Kent. Other royal family members had started off the Trooping the Colour festivities earlier today, with the Duchess of Cambridge and her 3 children Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis waving for excited crowds. This morning, 3 carriages carrying members of the royal family left the forecourt of Buckingham Palace and travelled down the Mall. The Duchess of Cornwall rode alongside Kate Middleton and her children in the first carriage. George, 8, Charlotte, 7, and 3-year-old Louis smiled and waved enthusiastically as they sat in a row, known as a barouche, with Louis in the middle of his older siblings. They were followed by the Earl and Countess of Wessex with children Lady Louise Windsor and James, Viscount Severn, then the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester and Vice Admiral Sir Tim Lawrence in the third carriage. The nation is embracing the special extended 4-day bank holiday weekend of pomp, pageantry and star-studded festivities, which will see celebrities and the public gather in their millions in tribute to the monarch. Prime Minister Boris Johnson tweeted, Congratulations to Her Majesty the Queen on your remarkable Platinum Jubilee. The whole country, Commonwealth and world thank you for your unwavering duty and service. Vivit Regina Elizabetha. God save the Queen. In their trip down the Mall, Louis, George and Charlotte, wearing a light blue, navy and white color scheme, sat opposite Kate and Camilla. As they waved to the crowds, Charlotte at one point appeared to push Louis' hand down, after squinting in the sun as the carriage left the palace. Prince Charles, Prince William and Princess Anne rode on horses during the traditional carriage procession which left the palace ahead of Trooping the Colour, also known as the Birthday Parade, at the start of the celebrations. As Kate, Camilla and the children left in their carriage, a riding groom had an issue with her horse which refused to move. The carriage had to swerve to avoid the animal which was eventually persuaded to join the procession. The Cambridge children bowed their heads when the national anthem was played on their arrival into Horse Guards Parade. George was dressed in a navy suit, white shirt and blue tie for the occasion, while Louis was wearing a sailor-style white and navy top echoing an outfit worn by his father at the 1985 trooping event. Charlotte's hair was down, dressed up with two fine plaits fastened with a blue ribbon, and she wore a cornflower dress. She peered out of the central window at Horse Guards Parade as Louis pointed out towards the ceremony. They arrived at Horse Guards Parade alongside their mother and grandmother in a carriage. The Duchess of Cambridge was wearing a white coat dress by Alexander McQueen and a hat by Philip Tracy. Riding horses were the Prince of Wales on George, the Duke of Cambridge on Derby and the Princess Royal on Sir John. The Prince of Wales went ahead of the Duke of Cambridge and the Princess Royal as they rode diagonally across the forecourt and under the arches of Horse Guards. Charles wore his scarlet Colonel of the Welsh Guards uniform and green thistle sash riding a horse named George. William rode on Derby in his Irish Guards uniform and Anne on a horse named Sir John in her Colonel of the Blues and Royals uniform as part of the colourful parade. It comes as Prince Harry and Meghan join senior royals at an official engagement for the first time in more than 2 years. The Sussexes are also set to bring along 3-year-old Archie and Lilibet, nearly 1, for the public family reunion, and the children are likely to meet their cousins George, Charlotte and Louis at last. Lilibet has never been introduced to her royal relatives, while Archie has not been in the UK since he was 6 months old. But there is no invitation for shamed Prince Andrew even in a private capacity after his fall from grace. The Queen's Birthday Parade at Horse Guards in London is the first official Platinum Jubilee event of the bank holiday weekend, with Her Majesty set to appear on the Buckingham Palace balcony for the RAF flypast at 1 p.m.